Hello, today I'm going to review the Star Wars The Black Series IG-11 figure. So starting off, I'll start with the articulation and then I'll go into the details. Now you can see he has articulation up here in his shoulders. You can also bend that side to side. You can also bend around this piece up here to kind of put it where you want it to be. Then he has articulation in the top of his legs. You can twist that around too. And there is knee articulation, but I really don't want to risk breaking one of these wire things. And there's foot articulation and head articulation. And I know what you're thinking. There is elbow articulation, and as I said about the knee articulation, but I will get into that starting now, because you see these little rubber pieces? This is kind of where the joints and the elbows are held, and these will break very, very easily. I've heard lots of stories about how this figure is like the most fragile of any figure they've made, so I don't want to risk breaking that. But I really do suggest that Hasbro goes and fixes that, because that's not good if you can't really move his elbows. Luckily in the show, it seems like the majority of the time he's like this anyway, so I'm not complaining too much. And he does have joints that you can bend sideways in his arms anyway. I just wouldn't mess with the elbows. So at the knees, as I was talking about, you can bend those. I will do it I would do it, but you see these wires, as I said, I don't want to risk breaking that. So I kind of just always leave him in a standing position like this. So the joints not being able to all be used, at least without breaking the figure or wearing it down, that's kind of, I don't like that. But at least it sounds like a robotic character who really doesn't need to always be using the joints anyway. Now in terms of details, he has the wrong head, but I don't really think it's that bad. Like, I don't really even see it that much. I don't really think they were in the wrong to reuse the head. Although if they were to do it now, I think they should make a new mold for it, especially being how IG-11 is such an important character to the show. But as we go down his body, you can see that he has these, I really don't even know what it is. It holds all his bullets or something, I think, though. It's made out of rubber, and it wraps around his belly like that. He is very detailed. He is like a very detailed figure, as I said. And you can see there's like a metallic finish on these, as well as inside of his robotic insides. There's lots of little details in there. Same thing goes for the head. You can see where his little eyes are right here and all that. I always assume that this was his eyes right here. But you can see around his arms, he has little details in here, through here. And then one cool thing that I like about this figure is that when you want to put the guns in his hands, hang on just a second. Let me take the gun out. I'll just do it on the other hand. It's easier to show there, because my gun has actually been falling out of this. Hang on, it fell. Okay, there we go. See this little pin that his hand has on his guns? You can see there's actually a little hole. So you can stick the hole onto that pin and get it to hold into his hand. So I do like that. And then as we look down the figure, you can see around the top of his legs, on his thighs, he has details there, along with the little wires running down his legs. Very detailed, as I said. If only the joints could be used much around them. But then as you keep going down, they get thinner and thinner, just like they do in the show. And then he has the little blocky feet down here, which bend, as I said. So that is all his details and articulation and stuff. Let me get the camera to focus. So he is a very detailed figure, and he looks good on display. It's just the posing that really causes problems. Since I haven't collected the Black Series for all too long, as I just started this year, I've just noticed some differences in the packaging. Like, it seems like some of the older figures have these more squarish boxes where it doesn't really show the character on the side or anything. I think it was this and Grievous that were both packaged like this. So I'm assuming this is an older figure. But you can see on the front of it, it shows IG-11. On the side, it just says it up here, but nothing else. Then on the back, it says a little bit about him. And then on the other side, there's nothing. And then nothing on the top. Then just the barcode and stuff on the bottom. So overall, I would rate this figure, depending on how much you get him for, because he actually always goes on sale now, it seems. because I think you can get him for $10 a lot of times. He's definitely worth $10. But if you were paying full price for him, I'd give him a 6 out of 10 because of the joints and the inaccuracies that he has to the character. But it's not too bad, as I said, and he still looks good on display. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.